Hello, YouTube. Got a few things to discuss here. Some things that bother me. Probably will lose half my subscribers, but you know, oh well. We're gonna talk about the United States government. Okay. What makes our nation great? I don't know. I really don't. It seems that seems we do more stealing and things like that than anything. Let's just jump right into it. Okay. First of all, our economy is not a free market. Okay. Central banks dictate the flow of money in the market. So basically, you know, they'll dump imaginary funds that they just make out of thin air into the economy to cause inflation. I don't know where they think this money comes from or why it's okay to just make up money. You know, we used to have to back up every dollar with gold or silver, but that doesn't seem to matter anymore. And even if we did use gold and silver, what makes gold and silver valuable? It's just people saying that it's valuable. That's the same with our dollar. The only reason it holds any value is because we think it does. Same with gold and silver or anything. Nothing really is worth anything unless someone believes it is. You know, you could say gold and silver and diamonds and things like that are kind of rare and they're hard to get, so that makes them valuable. Okay, so four-leaf clovers should be valuable, you know. A square dog poop should be valuable. La-di-da. And our country used to be based a lot on what we grew and made in the U.S. Now we're basically an import country. In 2007, China was the #1 country in exports. Okay, they made $315 billion off their exports. The United States was dead last. Out of every single country on the face of the earth, we were number 224, and we were in a deficit of $816 billion. So while China made $315 billion, we lost $816 billion. Now, this sort of thing has happened before. The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire fell for basically 3 reasons. Their moral values, their interpersonal relationships within themselves. Their army was overextended. Their military was spread out such a wide, distance across the entire world that they, it would be hard to control all that. And irresponsible spending by the central government. So, moral values, military establishments all across the world, and irresponsible spending by central government. Does that sound familiar? Just to put it into perspective, to pay off all of the United States promised liabilities, okay, to completely get out of debt and eradicate all, Social Security benefits, all the Medicare, Medicaid stuff, to pay every single thing that we need to pay. If we were going to pay all of it today, well, this was a 2007 statistic, so it's probably a lot more now. But in 2007, if we were to pay all of our debt off, total debt, everything that we owed, it would be $53 trillion. That's a number that you can't hardly imagine. What that means is every single person in the United States would be liable for $175,000. it would take every single person in America paying $175,000 to get completely out of debt. You know, if it were you or me that was, you know, that far in debt, they'd take the checkbook away, but apparently they just have some kind of right to just do what they want. And not only that, but what right do they have to even do anything? What, you know, just, for example, the Native Americans. Why do we have all this land and they don't? There were something like 500 treaties signed between the Native Americans and the United States government, and we broke every one of them. You know, legally, and in the Constitution it says that a treaty is the highest form of law. So, you know, why these Native Americans can't just waltz into a Supreme Court and say, hey, look, we have this treaty, give us, you know, all of Oklahoma, Missouri, Louisiana, you know, give us all of our lands back, and we're basically left with almost nothing. I don't see why they couldn't do that. Other than, you know, our government would just kill them like we did the first time. But everybody just seems to think that's okay, so I guess I won't talk about that because nobody seems to care that we just kill. We just come to a new land and there's already people here, but we want it, so we just kill them all off and take it. And that's okay. You know, stockbrokers in New York and teachers in California and farmers here, nobody seems to care that we really shouldn't even be here, but anyways, I don't know. And the government's going in a direction that's unsustainable. You cannot, you know, if you had, every year the government runs in a deficit, every single year. They pay out more than they make. So it would be like you or me having zero income and just living off of our credit. You know, go get credit cards and pay your bills and mortgages and all that kind of stuff and buy food with a credit card without paying the bill and having no income whatsoever. How long would you be able to do that? A few years? You know, you cannot run forever in a deficit. You can't do it. It doesn't even make sense. There's a projection that says by 2017, Social Security benefits will pay out more than it makes. Right now, as it stands, Social Security pays out less than it makes. It makes more than it pays out. So that extra can go towards keeping our national deficit at a minimum. But, you know, by 2017, once we hit the threshold where Social Security is paying out more than what it makes with the baby boomers, you know, retiring and drawing their pensions and all that, then that will start adding to our national deficit instead of taking away from it. So it's just going to snowball. It's going to go faster and faster and faster. But what can we do about it? You know, pretty much nothing, as far as I can see. I mean, it's not like you or me can personally do anything. You know, if you say, you know, you can, then I don't know. The way I see it, there's really not much we can do. And I don't think it's really fair, because none of us signed anything saying that we agree to live in this system. You know, we were born, we were given Social Security numbers through our parents filing for them and things. You know, we're American citizens by default. There's no, you know, as far as I know, there's no opting out. I mean, what are you going to do? Leave the country? They're not going to let you stay here and not be a part of the, you know, the federal system and all that. You're not going to be allowed to just do what you want. So, but I don't think that that's right either. I think that you should have to go into an agreement. You should have to willingly agree to be a part of that system. And if you don't want to be, there should be an easy way to opt out. You know, and opting out just comes right down to the fact of you ask the government for nothing. And in turn, you give the government nothing. There should be a way where you can say, I didn't ask you for anything. I don't want anything from you. Leave me alone. You're not getting anything from me. I mean, it seems like you should be able to do that. A couple other things that have always bothered me. Vehicle registration. Why can they tax you and make you pay a yearly registration for a vehicle that you buy yourself with your own money and drive on roads that you yourself as a taxpayer paid to build and maintain? Okay, so you paid for the car, you paid for the road, but you still have to pay for registration. That's kind of weird. And a lot of people are saying that within the, the legal codes, that the language is actually, written as in a way where you would not have to register a vehicle if you didn't want to. You could try that. A lot of people are trying to do stuff like that and trying to get rid of their social security numbers and driver's licenses and trying not to pay income taxes, which really you shouldn't have to pay because it's your labor. You can try it. There's a lot of people sitting in prison right now because they stood up and said, paying the federal income tax is illegal and I'm not going to do it, and now they're in prison. So, you can be in the right. You can be 100% totally legally in the right, and it doesn't matter. They'll just throw you in jail. I mean, what kind of a system is that? What kind of, oh, freedom and liberty? No. Because even when you're right, you're wrong. If you go any way against the government, you're wrong. You're going to lose. That's it. There could be a law that spells out in plain black and white that you're allowed to do something. You go and do it, and you end up in jail. I don't know. But what can we do about it? We can't rise up against the machine. That's not going to work. That might have worked a long time ago, but we don't have tanks, we don't have machine guns, we don't have bombs, mortars, mace. We don't have all that kind of stuff. They have sonic weapons even that just blast your eardrums with ultra high-pitched frequencies and bring you to your knees without even breaking a sweat. They just push a button and 200 people are down on the ground. So, and it used to be they took a poll, I think it was like in 1980, where they polled Marines, and they asked if ordered to, would they ever fire upon a U.S. citizen? And I think something like 70-some% of them then said no. Yeah. Try taking that poll now. I guarantee a lot more of them would just follow orders. Whatever the orders are, they would follow them. I'm not saying all of them would, but I'm guessing a big enough number would follow orders to bring us down. I mean, it's not much we can do. And we're supposed to have, the Second Amendment. We're supposed to have the right to bear arms and all that. And that's not for hunting and things like that, and target practice. The Second Amendment was specifically to protect ourselves from an overzealous government. So, really, the normal average citizens should be legally able to possess any and every weapon that any government would possess, I mean, I'm not saying I want my next door neighbor to have a nuclear warhead, but legally speaking, he should be able to if he can afford it. You should be able to fight back with, as much force as what is forced upon you. That's the whole point. People are supposed to be able to live the way they want to live. As long as you're not hurting anybody, You know, why even use a monetary system? Why not, you know, if you need a bale of hay, why not go down the road to the farmer guy's house and say, hey, can I till your garden for a couple bales of hay? Or, you know, if you need some, you know, lumber, go down to the sawmill and say, hey, I'll work for you for, you know, 6 days or something like that if you give me such and such 2x4s or, you know, whatever like that. If you need firewood, say, hey, you know, I'll come help you do your electrical wiring in exchange for a couple cords of firewood. But, you know, some people do that, but not many. I don't know, everybody's just so hung up on who's got the most money. It's just stupid to me. You know, screw everybody working together, you know, in harmony and everybody helping everybody out no matter what their status might be. You know, oh, the heck with that. I need a new bass boat. I don't know about it. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll stop for now. A lot of things irritate me, but today it was really, really making me mad, so. And like I said, what are we supposed to do about it? You know, you can sit here and think about it and work yourself up into a frenzy. That's what I do. I sit here and think about it, and I work myself up into such a fit of rage. I want to beat my head against the wall. But there's nothing to do about it. There's too many Americans that benefit from the system. You know, be it welfare or, you know, or even, you know, not even wealthy people, just well-off people, people that don't live paycheck to paycheck. They're not going to rock the boat and cause waves in a system that works for them. You know, if they've got a house and 2 brand new vehicles and, you know, maybe a a four-wheeler or, you know, something like that, you know, some kind of toys to play with or what have you, they're not going to do anything that would lower their own status. They're just not going to take that risk. So basically the only people that give a crap are the poor people. The people that stand to elevate themselves to a higher position, or not even a higher position, just to bring everybody within a fair range. You know, I don't think that lazy people and people that don't want to do anything should be rewarded, you know. Let them go off into the woods and starve to death. If they don't want to go, you know, collect their own food or whatever like that, then that's not my problem, you know. Maybe they have a different skill. Maybe they have, you know, some ingenuity or some kind of skill that would benefit me where I would provide them food in exchange for their labor or skills. Okay. Not everybody has to be a farmer, but everybody needs to contribute. I don't know. I'll stop there. I also wanted to bring up, I've thought about doing a live show, like a live Hangouts on air, where people can come in and ask questions, and I can ask questions of everyone else also. You know, I like to know what everybody else is doing. You know, I don't want to just talk about myself, but, I mean, I like to answer questions. You know, any question that people want to ask, I'll pretty much answer, so. But I thought about doing a live hangout. That way everybody could, you know, maybe get together and spitball some ideas or whatnot. Or, you know, who knows, Joe Blow, you know, one of you might have the secret to the answer, you know, the answer to it all. So, anyways, we'll catch you next time.